7:46, and of course, as promised, on the line we have Mr Mlungisi Mthembu, the Senior Registrar in the Motion Court for Gauteng Division of the High Court. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sharice. How are you?
Well, and you?
I am not complaining. It's a good morning, and as well, I greet all the listeners.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know that there was a bit of confusion, and also yesterday you were quite busy in and out of meetings and arbitrations and so forth. So I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to chat to us. Mlungisi, if you could just maybe give us an overview quickly of what it is that your department does and how it is that you are that you've kicked off this awareness campaign and why you think it is important.
Okay, thanks for the question. Basically, we are a court of law. Mm-hmm. We deal with legal matters. Mm-hmm. That's the long and short of it. Mm-hmm. But specifically, when you try to nail it a bit down, we've got different sections in the court, and perhaps maybe I could first explain what is it that I do,
yes,
together with the other colleagues that I work with. Well, I'm a registrar, as you've said, and within that office of the registrar, we've got different sections. For one to be a registrar, they need to be legal qualified, meaning a legal degree is a basic requirement. And in terms of functions that we administer, I could say in simple terms, we are court process administrators. We make sure that all applications that should be before the court are properly brought in, and as well ensure that they are compliant with the uniform rules of court and applicable directives. Speaking of directives, we come from COVID-19. 2 years that were very tough for all professionals and people in general. We, through the Office of the Judge President, had to introduce specific directives that were aimed at making sure that the court processes and the hearing of matters does not stop as a result of the pandemic. We also do quasi-judicial functions such as granting default judgments. When your house is about to be sort of repossessed by the bank because you were not paying installments.
Okay.
Such matters we also deal with. We also grant and sign all court orders that come from the court in the general. We also have a section where we've got tax masters. We make sure that we keep records of all matters that are in the court, assist with the reporting and the monitoring and reporting of all the work of the court.
Wonderful.
Within the section, sorry about that.
No problem.
Specifically have a criminal section, civil section, motion, applications, the archives, appeals, taxations, and admissions. Admissions I refer to the admission of law, all legal practitioners and advocates.
All right. Now, Mlungisi, if you could just differentiate for us the differences between the Magistrates Court or the High Court.
Okay. In the basic, the difference is mainly jurisdictional,
okay,
which means specific courts have specific rights to hear specific matters.
All right.
Now, when you look at the magistrate court, they are regional and in other times districtional, meaning you find them in your nearest locality where you are. I'm not sure in terms of radius, but I would like to believe that perhaps in a radius of 15 to 20 kilometers, you must be able to find a local magistrate court within the area where you live.
Yes.
Now, with the magistrate court itself, you are most likely to get to hear matters that are mostly minor. And in legal fraternity, we refer them as court of first instance, meaning it's the court that you are most likely to appear before you go to other courts. Say you are charged with a criminal matter. Your bail application will always be heard in the magistrate court and not in the High Court. And when it comes to the type of offenses that they hear there, you're looking at like assault, common assault, theft, the minor offenses. Mm-hmm. And from the civil aspect of things, they hear small claims, meaning the dispute of one being owed 5,000, 10,000. I'm not sure of the ratio, but I think it goes up to 100,000.
Okay.
And in terms of civil litigation, be it your divorces, your major civil claims, they've got a jurisdiction of up to 400,000, meaning they cannot hear any matter that involves an amount that is more than 400,000.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Now, when you look at the when you look at the High Court,
mm-hmm.
what we mostly refer to as Superior Court, there you've got the High Court itself, you've got the Labour Court, you've got the Supreme Court of Appeals, you've got the Constitutional Court.
Mm-hmm.
Those are referred to as the Superior Courts.
Okay.
All their conducts are mainly based on the uniform rules of court and obviously the Constitution. There, it's a different ballgame in terms of what type of a matter comes in there.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at any civil dispute involving amount of 400,000 and above,
okay,
you will as well have a ratio of 100,000, meaning 100,000 to 100,000, and any amount above 100,000.
Okay.
All those matters go to criminal court, and as well, serious criminal matters. It's mostly on recommendation by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. You will recall back in the day when we had the Oscar Pistorius case.
Yes, yes.
Such matters that have main public focus and
it's in the public's interest.
Yes, exactly. And you will also have then all appeals and reviews and petitions that originate from the magistrate court, meaning if you had got a conviction and you're not entirely satisfied with how the magistrate arrived at the decision and you want to appeal that, the appeal status or platform will be the High Court. Like I said, then you've got the Supreme Court of Appeals that deal with all appeals from the High Courts. You've got the Constitution that mainly deals with constitutional questions and interpretation of what the provisions of the Constitution really mean.
Okay. Now, Mlungisi, when it comes to members of the High Court or any court, can they give members of the public legal advice?
Not at all. What we are mandated to do is to ensure that court processes are respected, implemented, and in line with the rules. The level of advice we can proffer is that of ensuring that you understand what these rules mean and how applicable they are, and as well the interpretation of the directives as to say how do you do what and when.
Mm-hmm.
Insofar as straight legal advisory, we do not offer such services. We are not allowed to. Remember, you litigate through our processes. So if I were to give you legal advice, it would mean then that should anything go wrong, you have a right to come back to me and say, but Mr. Mthembu, you said, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Instead, in the High Court building, we've got a pro bono office, which is in office 016, ground floor. It is able to take members of the public and assist linked with the linking between that member and a practitioner. Like I said, it's run through the Legal Practice Council. It's an independent office. They are doing a very efficient job. In the alternative, if you, for whatever reason, are not able to be accepted as a qualifying applicant within that office, we may refer you to the Legal Aid Office. And alternatively, mostly here in Johannesburg, we as well refer you to the Vets Law Clinic. Those are independent institutions that do not take money, however, are able to assist anybody that comes through their doors with legal advisory and up to taking their matters to court for litigation.
Wonderful stuff. Mlungisi, I need to let you go, but is there anything that you would like to share with the community and the listeners of Eldos FM right now that we might not have touched on?
Not entirely. I believe we sit on our other segments, so I...
Yeah, no. You have 5 more. 5 more.
Okay, yeah. So I guess our bag should not be emptied. All
right. Yeah. Senior Registrar in the Motion Court, Gauteng Division of the High Court, Mlungisi Mthembu. Thank you so much for your time this morning, sir. You enjoy the rest.
Thanks. Have a good day to all of you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. There you have it. Thank you so much to Mlungisi for joining us this morning.